Hello students, today I will teach something on reproduction and reproduction plants. So in this topic, first we will discuss what are the three main things that needs to be considered. Why organisms need to reproduce, what are the modes of reproduction, methods of asexual reproduction and methods of sexual reproduction. Now the first question is, what is reproduction? Reproduction, that means creation of new life. रिप्रोडक्शन में हमेशा नए जीव पैदा होते हैं. इसका मतलब होता है producing young ones of their own kind. So reproduction is the production of young ones of their own kind. That means the young ones are similar to the parents. The next thing that we should discuss, why organisms need to reproduce. आप खुद ही सोचिए, अगर ये रिप्रोडक्शन का प्रोसेस नहीं हो तो क्या होगा. एक पौधे हैं, एनिमल्स हैं, अगर वो रिप्रोड्यूस नहीं करेंगे तो कुछ साल जीने के बाद they will die, but there will be no one to carry on the species. So organisms, they need to reproduce to prevent the species from perishing. इससे पहले कि species खत्म हो जाए, वो आगे ना चल पाए, इसीलिए reproduction is essential. That is why organisms reproduce, because it is a means of perpetuation. Perpetuation का मतलब हुआ continuation of species. So species continue करें, इसलिए organisms reproduce करते हैं. Now what are the modes of reproduction? There are two modes of reproduction, asexual and sexual. Asexual में कोई फ्यूजन नहीं होता है सेल्स का, गैमेट्स का, और जो नए इंडिविजुअल्स हैं they are formed from a single parent. Sexual reproduction is opposite to the asexual reproduction. In this, the fusion of the cells or gametes, they take place, and that is from two parents. So here, two parents, fusion of the cells or the gametes. Here, no fusion of the cells or gametes take place, and the new individual that are born, they are from a single parent. Now, next thing that we'll discuss is methods of asexual reproduction. So there are 6 important methods of asexual reproduction. As you can see, first is the binary fission. I'll discuss these methods in detail in the next video. First is the binary fission, then it's budding, fragmentation, spore formation, regeneration and vegetative propagation. Methods of sexual reproduction, again it's fusion of gametes, so there will be, and we are talking reproduction in plants. So in plants, the sexual reproduction takes place by the method of pollination, right? So the method of sexual reproduction in plants is by process of pollination. Pollination is of two types, self-pollination and cross-pollination. So the two methods, self and cross. Now we'll discuss the methods of asexual reproduction. Discussed earlier, there are basically 6 methods of asexual reproduction in plants. The first one is the binary fission. Second is your regeneration. Third, budding. Fourth, fragmentation. Fifth, or rather the fifth one will be spore formation, and you can do this. This is sixth one and this is fifth. And the vegetative propagation. This vegetative propagation is a little bit vast topic. So we'll discuss this topic in detail in the next part. First I'll discuss the first method of asexual reproduction in plants, that is binary fission. Now, this is a common method in unicellular organisms like bacteria. What actually happens in this method of asexual reproduction, the single cell divides into two equal halves. तो बराबर के हिस्सों में वो जो सेल है वो डिवाइड हो जाता है. जब सेल डिवाइड होता है तो सेल में जो न्यूक्लियस, आप सबको पता है सेल के अंदर न्यूक्लियस होता है, तो न्यूक्लियस भी दो हाफ्स में डिवाइड हो जाता है. अब जब न्यूक्लियस दो हाफ्स में डिवाइड हो गया, सेल भी दो हाफ में डिवाइड हो गया, तो ईच हाफ, राइट, each part grows into full size. This can be better understood with the help of a diagrammatic explanation. So the next method of asexual reproduction is regeneration. You must have seen a lizard with its cut tail, and if you have paid attention, after some time, some days or months, you must have seen that the lizard has again regenerated its tail. So the lizard has a very strong regeneration power. आपके लॉन में ग्रास को कट किया जाता है और कुछ हफ्ते बाद ग्रास फिर ग्रो हो जाती है, and it needs to be cut again. Right? So, the ability to repair or grow from the lost parts is regeneration. New cells, they grow to replace the damaged or the lost cells. तो जो cells damage हो चुकी, आपने कभी देखा होगा कि बहुत कभी-कभी आपके ये skin जो है ना, फिंगर्स की स्किन निकल जाती है, लेकिन कुछ समय बाद वो स्किन फिर वही प्रॉपर स्मूथ आ जाती है. दैट्स इज जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ द रीजेनरेशन कैपेसिटी. एंड द यंग individuals, young animals, creatures, they have a very strong regeneration capacity as compared to the older individuals. The next method of asexual reproduction is budding. So in this method, a bulb-like projection, a bulb-like projection is formed on the parent body, and this bulb-like projection is called bud. So when bud is formed on the parent body, the nucleus also divides into two. One of the nucleus passes into the bud, this bud. So bud is formed, nucleus divides into two, one of the nucleus passes into the bud, and after that this bud, which is a new part formed from the parent body, detaches itself from the parent body, and each bud grows into a new single individual. So ये जो बड है वो पेरेंट बॉडी से अपने आप को अलग कर लेता है, और अलग करने के बाद फिर से बिल्कुल सिमिलर पेरेंट बॉडी जैसा ही अलग न्यू इंडिविजुअल बन जाता है. ठीक है. So now the next method of asexual reproduction is fragmentation. This is most common in Spirogyra. What actually happens in this method of asexual reproduction in plants is each filament divides into two or more fragments. Spirogyra इस तरीके से होता है, ये पूरा प्लांट बॉडी है, तो ये ऐसे अलग अलग फिलामेंट्स में डिवाइड हो जाता है, दो या दो से ज़्यादा फ्रेगमेंट्स हो जाते हैं टोटल स्पाइरोगायरा की, टोटल प्लांट बॉडी की. Each fragment divided portion, this one, each fragment grows into a new body, new plant or new individual, right? Now this can be better explained or better understood with the help of the diagram. Okay, the next asexual method of reproduction in plants is spore formation. as the name itself implies, spore formation. So this method happens with the formation of the spores. Now, this is the most common method in non-flowering plants, those plants in which seeds are not produced. Now, they have spores. Spores are very small in size with thick walls, and they are small in size and with thick walls. The presence of these thick walls help the spores to survive in the adverse conditions of temperature and pressure, scarcity of water, etc. ये जो spores होते हैं, ऐसे छोटे छोटे spores होते हैं, इनकी जो wall होती है वो बहुत thick होती है. इस thick wall की वजह से जो spores होते हैं वो adverse conditions, बहुत ज़्यादा high temperature, बहुत ज़्यादा प्रेशर या अगर पानी की भी कमी है, उन सब के इन सारे एडवर्स कंडीशंस में ये थिक वॉल स्पोर्स को हेल्प करते हैं सर्वाइव करने के लिए. और इसी वजह से स्पोर्स जो हैं वो they give rise to new organisms, new plants in the favorable conditions. So under unfavorable conditions they try to survive, and when the conditions are favorable, the spores give rise to the new organisms. Now let us learn this with the or understood this with the help of the diagram. Okay, the last method of asexual reproduction is vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation means the vegetative parts play an important role in this method. Now, what are the vegetative parts of the plant? They are roots, stem and leaves. तो जो vegetative propagation है इसमें ये roots, stem और leaves जो है वो participate करते हैं. These vegetative parts they give rise to new plants. No seeds are produced. No vegetative parts take part in this method. No reproductive parts take part in this method. Only the new plants grow with the help of the vegetative parts, that is roots, stem and leaves. Now, as I said earlier, this is a little bit a vast topic in which we will be discussing the advantages of vegetative propagation, the various ways or the parts which take place in the vegetative propagation, that is root, stem and leaves, and after this we will also discuss the artificial vegetative propagation, and I think that requires a new discussion in a new video, so we will discuss that in a new video.